Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm going to go straight in with catching you up on the art I've been doing lately. If you're new here, I've been doing an art course and been really getting into the painting this year and mixed media and that sort of thing. So first of all, I'll show you some of the competition entries I've been doing. I'm sort of part of an online art club. They have a theme every month and I'm a little behind on showing you what I've been doing there. So a couple of months ago the theme was to paint someone famous and I chose to paint Liv Tyler as Arwen in Lord of the Rings. Chris and I watch Lord of the Rings every winter and around Christmas time, and it's one of our favourites. So this was my attempt at drawing someone famous. I'll be honest, it was quite tricky because quite often, even when I'm using photographs in my paintings, I'm not particularly that bothered about trying to make them look like the person because I'm just using them like as a reference for a person. It doesn't matter if it's very accurate to the person that I'm actually using as a reference photo. So this was a bit trickier, but I did enjoy it and you know, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. The next theme was golden. Actually it was a really odd title. It was For Gold and Glory, and we were meant to paint what we find glorious and incorporate gold into the picture. So I thought I would have a go at drawing woodland, spring woodland and bluebell woods. So this is the sort of photo I'm using as a guide. I took it at Tahiti Woods in Cornwall last year. Yeah, when we met up with my sister and had a walk there. Very magical woods. I'm gonna twist it around a little bit to keep with the rule of thirds because I obviously wasn't paying attention with it when I took the photo. I put the path slap bang in the middle in the photograph, but I'm going to move it to the left and I'm going to have the light on the thirds. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's one of those compositional rules that photographers and artists have. It's more pleasing to the eye to put things on the thirds rather than in the centre, and certainly not off-centre like this sort of path is. I mean, I don't mind central actually, and to be honest, with square formats that you see on Instagram, I think on a square you're better off centralising your subject, but that might be a controversial opinion. Yeah, so I'm going to move things around a little bit. I'll move this tree forward to have a bit more of a subject going on this side and lose some of these trees in the middle because it'll just look a bit busy and messy, I think. But yeah, that's what I'm beginning with. And when the sun comes through and you get all that starburst of light, that's the sort of thing I wanted to capture. Glad I had a good shot at it, and that is the result. I definitely enjoyed doing all the splatters, and there are elements to this painting I really do like. I was also in the middle of doing mark making in the course, so I had another go at sort of abstract mark making in the background, which eventually turned out okay. So as well as using like glittery gold paint for the sun rays, I also had a go at the first time at using gilding flakes. So these are from Crafty Notions. I bought them off eBay, as you might expect. If you know me, I tend to buy little bargains of people clearing out their art and craft supply things, and these were one of them. But they're mixed metal, so I had to pick out all the ones that were just gold, so that was a bit difficult, but I like the effect, and actually you'll see in a sec I've got another painting where I did it as well. So that was that. And then the next competition was to do a full figure, like head to toe. So I decided to continue my elements pictures. If you've been here before, you'll have seen I did an earth painting, I did a water painting, and this time I had a go at fire. And I really like this one actually. It's much bolder colours than I usually do, but I am really overall quite pleased. I really like adding those little metallic bits into it as well. I definitely think you've got a sense of fire in that picture as well, so that was quite good. So apart from the competitions, in the actual course itself, we reached a point where I started to have a bit of a wobble actually. We had 8 paintings left, so 2 per week, the month of August we were supposed to do. And after that, it's time to create our portfolio. So I felt a lot of pressure for these 8 paintings to do the last of the mixed media techniques I haven't really tried yet. Gold leaf was one of them, so I want to have a go with proper gold leaf sheets rather than these sort of sprinkles. Rollers was another. I can't remember what the other technique is that I haven't done yet. And also again we're sort of moving towards the type of thing we want to paint in the future as a professional artist, and I just got so sort of paralysed in fear of that having to finally make a decision. Honestly, I have been going over and over this so much. Do I want to do landscapes? Do I want to do fairies? Do I just want to do like fairy tale themes? Do I want to do something like this which is almost all abstract? Or do I want to do something more like this where you've got abstracted bits but you can still tell what it is and that it's a landscape? And I have been going over and over this and I'm still not entirely sure that I've come up with the right thing. And yeah, it's sort of, again, I guess it's lacking in self-confidence, I suppose, a little as well, which leads me nicely to saying thank you so much if you left a comment on my video called The Truth, where I talked about my struggles with self-confidence, particularly with making videos and just generally. And so I had some lovely comments. Thank you so much. That really did boost me up and yeah, kept me going. So thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So yeah, again, it reared its head again, and I was thinking, I can't do this. What am I even thinking? Why do I think I could be an artist? Particularly when I had a couple of not very successful paintings. So one of them I've got on the windowsill actually, because I'll just get it. too bad actually. I think maybe I'm being a bit overly critical, but it's just not what I had sort of pictured, imagined, or I guess I just hoped it would be better than it is. So I've got this fairy tale sort of scene, and I think this is where I'm heading with my art, is the sort of fairy tale scenes with a sort of semi-abstract background. The reason why this is all curled up and very bumpy is because I had to go at varnishing it with actually I've got it, is this it? Is this the one? Yes it is, Winsor & Newton Professional Satin Varnish. Because it's now, again, because like I said, we're coming up to doing the portfolio, it's now time to figure out not just the fun bits, I suppose, the actual art, but also the technical aspects of it. So I really enjoy painting on paper, but I don't enjoy looking at watercolours through glass. And I definitely know I won't enjoy creating mattes, you know, the bits where you have to cut a frame so that the paper isn't touching the glass, so you don't get condensation and all of this sort of stuff. I don't know if I could be done with that. with that. Plus, posting a glass picture frame, I wanted to avoid that. So I've been thinking about ways to sell the art without having to frame it with glass. So I started to experiment with that. I've been doing lots of research online. You can varnish paper and then frame it without glass. So I did this sort of experiment, and I've been putting this in my windowsill in the strong sunlight to test how good the UV protection is, because I'm aware that some of these inks that I use are dye-based, which is not well known for lasting. So the UV protection was vital. And yeah, this one, the Winsor & Newton one, seems to be the best option for UV protection. So there you go, there's a little bit of my research if you might not have to do now if you are doing something similar. That took me hours to figure that out, I'll be honest. Quite impressed, to be honest, because that's strong sunlight and it's been there now for 2 weeks. So anyway, yeah, that's one picture that wasn't as good as I'd hoped it would be. And then I did a painting, and for the first time, I think ever, well, since taking my art more seriously and sharing it on YouTube anyway, and Instagram, I did a painting that I am not going to show you, it's so bad. I haven't put it on my Instagram stories. Normally my paintings go straight on Instagram stories, but no, not this one. It is terrible, and yeah, that really did sort of put me in a, oh, you know, what's the word, just in a place where I thought, oh god, what am I doing? And I think also partly the stress of everything going on has got to me. So last week you might have seen that my daughter moved out. So this month it's the first month I've really got very far behind with the course. I'm so behind now, and I think that's causing me a little bit of stress. It's very busy here at the moment. I suppose a little bit of exhaustion as well from all the moving. It was exhausting. So maybe that sort of probably hasn't helped my frame of mind, but I think I'm past it. Mainly because since that awful painting I did this one, which turned out much better, and then I did this one. This was sort of trying a slightly different style. So I went back to really going abstract in the background and even making the figure quite abstract, because I sort of blended the dress out into the landscape around her. I still feel like I'm doing so much experimenting and learning, and I guess I'm a bit impatient. I just want to get to the point where I know what I'm doing and I'm confident in what I'm doing. But yeah, this was a fun one to do. I enjoyed using the texture paste and the crackle paste again. And yeah, I was much more pleased with that. And then I thought, okay, I can probably keep going with this. Keep going, Helen, don't give up. And then the next one I've started is going well so far. So that's from a photo of Jude. And this one is on canvas board. These ones I would have to glue them onto an acid-free board ready to frame. So I'm sort of looking at alternatives to having to do that. Again, I'm not very patient. I don't like the thought of having to clear off my table so that I can lay this flat, put all the faff involved, the weight, you know, having to weight it down, wait overnight for it to dry, etc. I'm looking for ways to avoid that. I thought I would give it a try anyway, and with the watercolour inks it worked. If anything, it worked too well. It has absorbed the ink more, and I was expecting it to sort of bead up on the surface. So more experimenting, having a go with the canvas board, because it would be amazing if I could just frame the canvas board, obviously varnish it as well, without having any of the faff of gluing. So yeah, more experimenting and trying things out going on. Oh goodness me, I've been chatting on and I'm so hot. It's so hot today. If you're not from England and you've been watching English YouTube channels, I'm probably not the only one that's been complaining about our terrible, terrible summer. It has just rained through the whole of August. Normally in August I get a bit annoyed when everyone starts talking about autumn, and I'm thinking, please let me keep summer for a bit longer. But honestly, this year I didn't mind. I thought, yes, it's autumn. Like last week it was cold, the rain was just not stopping, and there was just that crisp autumn air that you get in the air, and I thought, yeah, it's definitely autumn. Yeah, we did actually have a couple of nice days because my cousin was staying nearby. She came over to Somerset on holiday and we managed to spend some time together. It was a shame because I was so busy moving rain. I would have liked to have had more time, but we just didn't have it. But we did have a nice sunny day where we got to look around the village and show her around a bit, and then she was kind enough to invite us over. It was me and the kids, went over to her campsite. We had the best evening. We had a campfire, strawberries and chocolates, and she laid out lots of lovely food. It was really nice. And that evening was cold. We were all in jumpers and blankets and and then look what my cousin has done for us. To be honest, most of this has been eaten. I should have filmed this at the beginning when it was all neatly laid out. But we've had fruit, we've had quiche, we've had strawberries, we've been dipping in melted chocolate. It's been lovely. Just vlogging. Do you want to be in the vlog? No. And the sun's setting over there. There's a thatched cottage over there. That's my cousin Helen vlogging. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like since yesterday, we're just getting a heat wave. It's going to be really hot this week. It's incredible. And I'm like melting, and it's really funny. So last week, when it was still miserable, I collected our plums. We had the best harvest of plums ever. We've got so many plum trees at the end of our garden. They just grow themselves. You know, we had one plum tree when we moved here, and now we've got about 10 at least, because they just spring up from the stones. It's great. Look, this is how many plums I have just gathered. Very happy with that lot, but that is not the half of it, and I can't find a bigger bowl. Oh, it's getting a little bit foggy this evening. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, archway update. Look, first break already. So 1 year it lasted. So yeah, definitely need to do more reinforcements with the archway with the willow. Coming into here, I don't know whether it's going to be too dark. Luckily this camera is really good in low light. Oh, why is there always a knob with a loud engine when you're trying to film? Those aren't quite ripe enough, but look up. There are just so many plums this year. So many. I'll put my Tupperware thing down there. Honestly, one of the reasons why I've been putting this off. Right, so we've got a few here that are greener, which is good. And some apples. Got some Granny Smiths this year. Let me duck under. Look at all of these on the ground. I have picked up a couple that I think must have fallen just today, so I think those are all right. Honestly, the reason why I've not been out before, partly because of the weather, and partly because, in all honesty, I just couldn't be bothered to film it. It's one of those social media things. I feel like if I'm collecting plums, I should be wearing... Oh, where did I go? Found ya! I should be wearing like a white flowy dress. I should be gathering these in a basket. A nice woven basket, not a plastic Tupperware box. You know, that sort of thing. I thought if I just keep waiting till I've got the time to do that, it's just never going to get done. So here we are. Look how many are on the floor. I'm so annoyed with myself for not coming out sooner. You're impressed, aren't you, Merlin? Yeah, all those plums. Look, Merlin. I've got all of these plums. There we are. They don't even fit in the containers. And I only stopped because I ran out of light. I have to learn how to make plum chutney or plum jam or something like that. So while our new solar panels are doing their thing and we've got tons of solar energy with the sunlight, I'm going to go and make some plum chutney because I can have that simmering on the electric hob without having to worry. I've never made plum chutney before, but we just had so many and we just don't have the freezer room. Usually I just sort of freeze them and get them out mainly at Christmas to make plum cakes and stuff, but this year I'm going to have a go at plum chutney. So we'll see how that goes. I won't be able to give you a conclusion because I think you've got to leave it a couple of weeks at least to see how it tastes. Oh, and also the scaffolding came down. Well folks, it's a bit of a momentous day today. Bank holiday Monday, we weren't expecting it. Again, they came a day earlier than we were told. The scaffolding has just come off the house. So I've got that to show you. It's so weird because it was all completely covering up this archway and we've got blackberries ready to pick. So I'll definitely be doing that shortly, because we had to cut back the look at the length of this bramble here. We do need to get on top, and this archway, look how much it is falling over. Oh, in fact that is new. They've knocked this and broken it. I've just realised how much this archway is toppling right over. So I think this has had it. We need to clear this whole archway. Oh yeah, I've got this slate to show you. We've got 4 giant bags of slate. So if anyone knows of any sort of garden project that we use it for, it is mostly broken, so we can't use it as roofing. There are a few intact, but not many. We're definitely going to do a path along the garden with it. But yeah, here we are. Here's the back of our house without scaffolding. It's been since February. It's now right at the end of August. Just feels quite weird seeing the house again. So while I'm at the front here, I thought I'd quickly show you this area. Again, sorry this won't make much sense to you if you're new here. Yeah, this area's been a bit we've been working on last year and this year, and I said I planted wildflower seeds and some of them have actually grown. I didn't expect it really. I have no idea what this beautiful purple flower is, but we've got a few of them, another one coming up there. The leaves are there. I think hopefully there's some buds coming too. I mean, there are obviously some weeds in here as well, quite a few, but it's the wildflower seeds are doing the trick of sort of disguising the weeds, I think. Definitely need to get the thistle out and the dandelions, but I think on the whole the effect with the wildflower seeds is not too bad. It's a shame none of these pink flowers, they only open in proper bright sunshine, but when these pink flowers are open it looks even prettier. Quite happy with that. I'll definitely plant some more seeds next year. Obviously didn't plant enough, but I think it would look quite good here. And I'll leave it at that for this video. With all this art to show you, I feel like the style of my video is sort of changing a little bit. I feel like my videos have very much gone back into the vlog realm of just keeping you updated about what's going on and showing you a bit of the process of the art, rather than, I think in the past I tried to do videos that are a little bit more, I say a little bit more arty. I had more voiceovers about, you know, trying to do a bit more wordy, like writerly, nicely written voiceovers and that sort of thing, which I just haven't had time to do recently, and probably won't have time to do for the rest of this year. I've got a busy autumn coming up, so oh gosh, I feel like I'm really babbling on, I'm sorry. I can't seem to articulate my words very well today. Oh well, hopefully you don't mind. I'm sorry if I'm... no. Shut up. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this more sort of informal video. I'll try and do a little bit more arty ones every now and then, but we'll see how we go. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for your likes, thank you for your comments, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.